Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Tuesday, the 10th of June 2025. In today's Millwall news, I will start with this. No, he hasn't left yet. He may do. Again, we got news yesterday, the two players whose contracts had ended, they were in negotiations with a club. Those negotiations didn't go so well, and the players decided to leave. The same situation for George Honeyman and I believe maybe Danny McNamara. So, this is from the 72.co.uk. League One clubs chasing Millman ahead of expected departure. Mill midfielder George Honeyman by numerous clubs. I guess there's some words missing there. I guess if they probably, for these kind of websites, you get paid by the words, so they probably decided to deduct a couple of words to make it cheaper. Mill midfielder George Honeyman is wanted. He's a wanted man by numerous clubs, including Blackpool, as his deal winds down as per Football League World. Mill midfielder Honeyman is currently on the shopping list of a growing number of League One teams, amid a looming contract expiry at the end of June. Honeyman has spent 3 seasons with the Lions. Has it been 3 seasons already? Wow. After signing from Hull City in the summer of 2022, he's been a regular face at the Den, having racked up a hefty 117 appearances in all competitions. Wow. He remains a respected figure at the Championship level. Yes, don't stop laughing. But with the chance of a free transfer deal, many ambitious League One clubs can't help but take note of this situation. Widely considered as a hard-working, versatile and experienced midfielder, it is reported by Football League World that Blackpool are eyeing a move for his services, though other unnamed sides are keen. His previous success with Hull City in League One, where he made 42 appearances in a title-winning campaign, is not forgotten. Any club looking to be in or around the promotion race in next season's third tier would benefit from the experience of Honeyman in the middle of the pitch. So basically, they give you a little, like, one line of information and they just expand on by talking around it, like if you didn't know, in a division where margins can be so tight, having a character on the pitch in interesting, yada 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 yada. Versatility, he can play in numerous positions, etc, etc, etc. So, hasn't been announced yet. The transfer window has closed, the mini transfer window. A lot of clubs in League One were doing business today. It seemed to be they were taking this seriously and they were getting deals signed before the window closed today. I don't know why that is. But they were doing that. So we'll get to that at the end of the video. We're going to take a look at the latest transfers. Before we get to that, another friendly has been arranged, and it is in southwest London. Can you guess who it is yet? Can you guess what it is yet? It's AFC Wimbledon. Yeah. AFC Wimbledon versus Millwall. So this is from millfc.co.uk, the club's official website. Mill travel to AFC Wimbledon for a pre-season friendly on Tuesday the 22nd of July. Kick-off at 7:30pm and tickets will go on sale to Lions fans from 11am on Wednesday the 11th of June. That's tomorrow. Wow. Tickets in advance of match day are priced at £12 adults, £10 for 66 and over, £8 for 18 to 21 and £5 17 and under. Tickets on match day are priced at £14 for adults, £12 for 66 and over, £10 for 18 to 21. Hang on. So the difference between buying it in advance and buying it on match day, or if you're an adult, you pay £2 more. If you're 66 and over, you pay £2 more. Oh, it's £2 more all across the board. Okay. E-tickets, bloody what's with e-tickets? Stop with this shit, man. E-tickets can be downloaded, printed at the point of purchase without creating an account using your guest checkout. Can I ask a question at this point? Are we going to be doing Stonehenge tomorrow? No. The question is, the tickets are being bought. Oh, by the way, we'll get to that. Click here to purchase, and it takes you to AFC Wimbledon's website. Obviously, it's not there at the moment. You have to come back tomorrow. How are they going to know that you're 66 and over and not an adult? How are they going to know that you're between 18 and 21 and not 22 or 23? Do you have to bring proof of age? Where do you need to show that when you buy the ticket, or when you go in through the turnstile? Just saying. Obviously, I always buy the right ticket. I'm a good boy. But Millwall Sports wishing to download print at a later stage, you must create an account. So here's the thing. If you buy a ticket, if you don't download it and print it straight away, you're gonna have to open an account. And we've got an initial allocation of 1,200 in the North Stand. So there's 1,200 in the North Stand. I don't think we're going to sell that. In fact, I don't think there's going to be much pre-sales. I was looking at going to this, and when I found out it was all e-tickets, I can't be bothered. I'm not going to do it. Like, sell me a piece of paper that is a ticket. Do not sell me an e-ticket. I don't want it. So I guess maybe I'll go down on the day and try and get in. Or I don't know if I could go down to Wimbledon before the game and go to the box office and buy a ticket from them in person. Because I'm not buying an e-ticket. I'm not doing it. And if you bring in if it comes in at Millwall, I'll just have to figure a way around it, because I'm not going to do it. Now moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk. I'm always on the phone. Alex Neil discusses Mill's goals for the summer transfer window. Well, I would imagine it's to sign some players. Probably 2 goalkeepers, a forward, a left back, a right back, and a central midfielder now. So Alex Neil said Mill would be looking to strengthen at the first team level this summer. No fucking shit. The Lions finished the 24-25 campaign strongly, winning 8 games in 12 before narrowly missing out on a playoff spot by 2 points after losing away at Centurions Burnley 3-1 on the final day of the season. They now head into Neil's first pre-season as a Mill boss, and there have already been changes to the squad. Sean Hutchinson, Murray Wallace, Duncan Warmer, George Saville, Liam Roberts and Aaron Connolly will all depart the den at the end of the month upon expiration of their contracts. And the Lions will be looking to add to the 6 long-term signings they made in the January window. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players gone. 6 players gone. 6 first-team players. Well, to be fair, like, only one of them played a lot, didn't they? Sean Hutchinson barely played. Murray Wallace played here and there. Duncan Warmer played a lot at the start of the season. After that, not much. Liam Roberts played 6 games, and Aaron Connolly had bit parts, mostly as a sub, or started and coming off. So, I mean, I think we're always looking to strengthen at the first team level, Neil said last Thursday. It's not just a case of strength and depth. I think what will happen is there'll be opportunities in the market that will present themselves, and there'll be others that we would like to pursue that might not come off for a variety of different reasons, whether it be finances, whether it be going to another team, whether it be somebody maybe doesn't want to move, logistics, whatever the case may be. But what we've had in internal discussions about is, we want to come out of this window in a stronger position than we went into it. So that's really quite clear. Jimmy wants to invest in the club, invest in the squad, and to try and improve us. But it's not as easy as that, is it? We're not playing Championship Manager, where you can just go and say, right, we'll buy him, and thanks very much, we'll send you the money over. That's not the way things work in reality. So there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes. The recruitment team, Stevie Gallen, is obviously leading all sorts of side of things up as, pretty much on the phone 24/7. But yeah, there's huge amounts of work going on behind the scenes, and we're confident that we'll be in good shape coming to the start of the season. When asked about the preparations for the upcoming campaign, Neil said, I'm always on the phone, whether it's speaking to Jimmy, speaking to Stevie, speaking to the staff members, speaking to the recruitment lads, just making sure that our lads are okay and that they're enjoying their summer holidays and getting the rest that they need. And then also, obviously, looking to recruit players, I think that's the key. And there's been a lot of work going on in the background. Obviously, as soon as the season ends, there are always plans because you need to organise pre-season. The difficulty you got with pre-season at times is that Premier League teams won't talk to us about games for pre-season until their season finishes, and they run 2 weeks beyond us, and there are loads of bits that are ongoing throughout the summer. Nothing different to what I've been used to in the past. It's quite similar. Yeah. So there you go. I do wonder if we could get a Scottish team to play. Maybe at the Den. I think I think we might have one more slot to fill. Well, we got Bromley, we got Sutton, we got AFC Wimbledon, we got the 2 games in Spain. I think there might be one more slot, and then obviously we always, this is how we do it now. We've done this for quite some time, that all of our friendlies are away until the last one before the season starts. That's always a home game. So I don't know. Maybe we could get a Scottish team, but that would be carnage. To some extent. Obviously, you're thinking, Rangers, all Celtic, but what about Aberdeen? They, we loaned a player to them. Maybe Hamilton Academicals, by the way. Obviously, Alex Neil played for them, managed them. I don't know if he left on good terms or what, but I wouldn't be opposed to that, playing a Scottish team. Now, moving on to this. Northern Ireland 1, Iceland's 0. George Saville with the assist as they won 1-0. Yeah, even though it was announced yesterday that George Saville will be leaving us, he is contracted as a Mill player until the end of the month. And until he joins another club and his registration is transferred over, until that date, he is a Mill player. Obviously, the transfer window reopens on, is it the 26th? Something like that, yeah? No, it's 16th, isn't it? It's the 16th. So it reopens on the 16th. So until that happens, he is a Mill player. And here he is again, playing for Northern Ireland. He is another Mill international player. He started the game, played 68 minutes. Obviously, got the assist for the goal. I watched the game. Enjoyable. I didn't watch the other shambles on ITV1. I watched Northern Ireland. And, it's enjoyable in a way watching Northern Ireland. Obviously, watching them because there's a Mill player playing for them. Dan Ballard used to play for us as well, and he did quite well. But they play very much like Millwall in that they don't have a lot up front. That they can't outscore teams. It's not easy for them to score. So they very much play like Millwall. There's defence first, a lot of hard work, and then try and nick a goal. And it is very much like watching Millwall on the international stage. Just a shame now, obviously, George Saville leaving Millwall. He's not an international now, so it's one less international in the squad. So there you go. But did you know? I'm going to tell you now. Quiz question. Which Mill player has gotten the most caps for his nation whilst being a Mill player? Do you know this? Have a guess. No. Have another guess. No. Have another guess. No, it is actually Mr. George Saville. And this is from millhistory.org. No, millhistory.com. millhistory.org.uk, and they've got a page on there. When you click on stats, you go to Mill's internationals. So these are all a list of players who've got full international caps, not under 21s or any of that stuff. Full international caps for their countries whilst being a registered Mill player. And as you go down, you can see there's a few here and there. You've got Shane Ferguson, 29. 29, that's a lot. That is a lot, isn't it? But George Saville, 32. Now, this doesn't include the 2 this week. It hasn't been updated yet. He came on as a sub at the weekend. Obviously, he started today, so that's another 2 caps. So 34. 34 caps for Northern Ireland whilst being a Millwall player. And he still hasn't bloody scored. And there you go. And you would think, well, what about Dunphy? Dunphy, no, 22. Cass, no, only 15 for Cass. Big Mick, no, only 19. So it's literally, or you think, oh, what about Fordy? No, 24 for Ford. You got John Daddy with 17. Remember him? Casey Keller, 12. Bertram, 12 for Canada. What's that about? I don't know, but he's a Canadian apparently. Jimmy Abdu, 16 for Comoros. And Marlon Romeo, 12 for Antigua and Barbuda. So there you go, quiz question. And the answer is George Saville. Which Mill player got the most caps for their country whilst being a Mill player? And that is George Saville, and I would imagine that that's going to stand for quite some time. The internationals, we only have one international player, really. Well, he's gone back to the under-21s for this tournament that's coming up. But realistically, you know, he's Ivanovic, but you think he's going to be long enough to get 34 caps for Serbia while being a Mill player? This is the model now. You come in, you have maybe half a season or a season where you get integrated into the team. You're starting being a sub. Then you start. And then, 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and you're gone, hopefully. In terms of the club, for lots and lots and lots and lots of money. So this is a record that George Saville's got that may stand for a number of years, for quite some time, until we get to the point where we have, we can attract probably a player that is already a solid international, you would imagine, for probably one of the home nations. And they come in and they stick around for a bit, and they get up to 35, 36. But at the moment, it's George Saville, and that's it. 34 and out, done and dusted. There you go. Thank you, George Saville. Now, moving on to this from millfc.co.uk. Mill's Coffee Morning Summer Updates. Millwall Football Club's Coffee Morning will be back this Wednesday, taking place between 10 a.m. to 12 midday at the Den. Head down for hot and cold refreshments, cakes, and like-minded chat with Lions fans. Following this week's edition, Coffee Morning will take a 6-week break until Wednesday, the 23rd of July, where it will then return on a weekly basis. So that is interesting. Now, obviously, they are working, supposedly, in the exec lounge. So are they going to move this to Harry's? Or is anybody who goes down to this tomorrow going to get a sneak peek at the new exec lounge? And more on that now in this. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this? This is from millfc.co.uk. Mill to host Memorabilia auction. Yeah. This is rather weird and sad in a way. So let's have a look at what's going on here then. Millwall Football Club's online memorabilia auction with limited edition merchandise is live. With the den's refurbishment of the hospitality, boardroom and commercial facilities well underway, the club is delighted to announce that rare memorabilia from the stadium's archives are to be auctioned in partnership with Sportbidder. Supporters have the chance to bid on items. I'm not going to go through them because we're going to look through all of the items in a minute. Each item will be accompanied by a certificate of authenticity and a unique numbered asset tag. The auction will open on Tuesday the 10th, that's today, and run until Tuesday the 8th of July, 10 a.m. Asterisk. Here's the thing. If a bid is placed in the final minutes of the auction, the lot's closing time extends by another 3 minutes. Lots will begin closing from 10 a.m. with a 1 minute interval between each. So here's the thing. If someone tries to stream snipe and they put a bid in right at the last minute, it extends for 3 minutes to give you the chance to say, hang on a minute, what's going on here? I'm gonna bid again. And that's not one time, that goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on until someone stops bidding. So every time that happens, it will extend by 3 minutes. So this could be going on all day until someone decides it's time to go to bed. That would be kind of funny but horrific in a way. It's kind of the premise for a sitcom or something like that. So there's all kinds of FAQs, facts, frequently asked questions. How does it work? Like, what is this? Where am I? What are we doing here? Where to bid at this website, which I'm going to show you in a minute. You've got to create an account to start bidding. To bid, you will need to register with your name, address, email, and contact number. Add a credit card. A 1p charge will be put on it. They always do that, and that's to check that your credit card is real. Now this is the thing. You've got to read the fine print, because this is some fine print here. This is premium fucking fine print. A 20% buyer's premium is added to the ammo price. What? But it's a charge. That it's service charge. It's a tip. Whatever. They're adding that on. Where does that go? Presumably to the bidder, or not to the auction company who are called Sport Bidder. That's why I got confused. And then 20% VAT is charged on top of the price you bid and the 20% that they added on. So it jumps it up by 44%. For every £100 bid, they add on the 20%, which is the 20 quid, and then there's 20% VAT of 120, that's 24 quid. Add that all together, it works out 144 quid. You bid 100, and you are now having to pay £144, and that's not even you. That's not the end of it, because we'll get on to more in a minute. So here, look. The auction opens for bidding. Yeah, we know all about that. Each lot closes 1 minute after the next, giving you a chance to bid. So they're not all closing at the same time. The first one closes, and then a minute later. So they're all going to cascade to some extent, obviously, because there is some stuff on here that you might want to bid multiple on, if that's your thing. To ensure fairness and prevent last-second sniping, we use an auto-extension system. If a bid is placed in the final minutes of the auction, the lot's closing time extends by another 3 minutes. This continues until no further bids are received. So yes, Someone bids in the last minute, it extends for 3 minutes, and then at the end of that 3 minutes, in that last minute, if someone bids in that minute, it goes on for another 3 minutes, and then it goes on and on and on and on. I'm not going to do it again, but you get a picture. It goes on and on and on and on. Winning bidders will receive their invoice. So they'll say, what we've just seen, you bid £100, pay us 144. What? 144? I bid 100. Yeah, you have to pay the VAT, and you have to pay the service charged for the auction house, and you'll get your invoice by email within 24 hours of the auction closing. Payment must be made within 24 hours of receiving your invoice. So within 24 hours you will get your invoice. Within 24 hours of receiving your invoice you have to pay. And presumably if you don't, they will then re-auction it, or I don't know what they do. Burn it? I don't know. Payment is by bank transfer. I'm assuming that's for something that's absolutely massive. Or credit card. And they give you the bank account thing over there, blah, blah, blah. Bank details will be included in your invoice. Only use the details provided by the auction system, which securely holds this information. The online invoice will also provide a secure credit card payment link. Now, here's the thing. So not only have you bid £100, thinking, oh, I'm going to pay £100 for this. No, you have to pay £144. You have to get off your fat ass and go and get it. You have to collect it. Yes. They're not posting it out to you. They could, but they don't recommend it because they're not going to have any liability for it. And we'll read this. Collection is by appointment. Book via the calendar link you will receive when your invoice is paid. So again, 24 hours you get an invoice. Within 24 hours you have to pay that invoice. Then they're going to give you a calendar link where you have to book an appointment to go and pick up your shit that you paid for. Isn't life wonderful? Isn't modern life wonderful? All collections must take place on one of the following days. So if you can't make any of these days, tough shit. Thursday the 10th of July. And only 10 to 4:30, you know, when I presume these are all still at the ground, and you have to go down and get them. It doesn't say that, but I assume that. Friday the 11th of July, 10 to 4:30 p.m. And then obviously not at the weekend, you know, when you could make it, you know, if you're a working man and you have a job. No. Thursday, Friday, Monday or Tuesday. Not on a Saturday. No, not on a Saturday, sir. We don't do that. Due to the size and nature of these items, shipping is not recommended and will be expensive. More expensive than, you know, the 20% that they've already added on. And then the 20% VAT. If you cannot collect in person, please contact us in advance for a shipping quote. So they will ship it to you, but it will be insanely expensive. Probably about the cost that you paid for the thing. All items are sold as seen with no warranties. In-person viewing is available by appointment. Please contact us to arrange. Contact who? Sport Bidder? Millwall? Who do you contact? I guess... it says there. Email us at info@sportbidder with any questions. Good luck bidding. Good luck. Yeah, good luck. Now... I went through this earlier, and it's, to some extent, it's quite sad. It feels like, you know, someone in the family's died, you know, maybe like one of your parents, and you've had to go into where they live and maybe their bedroom, and, you know, go through their stuff, and you have to, you know, sort it out and get rid of it. This is what it feels like to me, you know, to some extent. Now, if you didn't know why they're doing this, they're making changes at the den, the exec sections and stuff, the lounges and stuff. I don't know what they're doing. I think they might be doing what they've done at Harry's Bar, which, it does look good, but if they're going to have that all the way through the exec lounge and they're getting rid of all of this stuff to do that, that's kind of weird. But yeah, so here you go. This is... So you got signed photographs of the teams when they do what do they call this? Squad photographs at the start of the season, when they all line up. Obviously they don't bother doing that anymore. Why would they? Because half the players don't turn up until a month into the season, because that's when the transfer window closes. So, but here's one here, 99-2000. This is the winning. They won the league. Obviously, this was before they knew they were going to win the league, but they were good favourites. 65 quid for that in a moment. Obviously, 20%. Met Police wall plaque. I don't know, is this from when did we ever play at Imber Court? Play Met Police FC. Here's one here. Johnson Paint Trophy 2015-16 Team of the Round winner. Signage. They got these graphics, these 1885 graphics, these blue and white. So they might be changing that up, because you can see here the welcome sign. Welcome to the 1885 club, was it called? I don't know. That's up at 120 at the moment. And obviously there's shirts that are all signed, and that. There's individual player shirts. For some reason, I don't know what a club would have them. Shirts. Obviously shirts are shirts, but picture this here, that framed images of Millwall FC players representing their nations. FA players competing against a New Zealand 11 in the 1980s in Wellington, New Zealand. Ricks, Wilkins and Haitley. Lowndes and Lovell with the Welsh caps, also featuring Millwall FC, managed at the time by George Graham, not Bob Graham. Bob Graham. So yeah, look, they got this. They're getting rid of this. I guess, you can't keep this forever. But yeah, this is these are the kind of things. You can see as we go through, you'll see more and more of this. Frame photograph of Millwall FC legend Richard Hill. See, who's going to be making any of it? No one's going to be making any more of these anymore. I guess the photographs exist to some extent online somewhere, but I mean, he got capped for England in 1926 whilst being a Mill player. I assume. If we could check that out. Was it Richard Hill? Yeah. If we go at the top to England. Yeah, Dick Hill. 24th of May 1926. England cap whilst the Mill player against Belgium. 5-3 in Antwerp. So yeah. Photograph there. Who's going to make that now? In the future? No one. It's obviously, I doubt it's 100 years old. It's probably made in the 90s or something. I don't know. But certain, the original photograph, I think they just reproduced it. It's not 126 years old or 100 years old. Obviously, from 1926, we're in 2025 now. So next season it'll be 100 years old. But yeah, that's 10 quid. 10 quid for that. Obviously, that's just the initial price. You have to pay 44% on top of that. Yeah, plaques here. For some reason, commemorative plaque from the October 1988 match between Millwall and QPR for some reason. Was that a special game? Was that... It's just Saturday. I don't think that was the League Cup game. You got this here, rather striking shield. A plaque presented to Millwall Football Club for hosting and I assume that's probably like the London FA Cup, because this is the London FA logo, I know that. It was for the London Football Association for the London Challenge Cup final in 1995. We hosted it at the Den. It tells you there when it was, if we click on that, 1st of May 1995, the London Challenge Cup final was hosted at the Den. So there you go, they're selling that. £10. £10 for that. And you can see there's a yellow star there. So somebody's obviously gone around all the stuff that they have and just put yellow stars on everything that they want to sell. And does it say how many at the top? If you see here, look, viewing items 1 to 100 or 489. They're getting rid of 489 items. So all of this stuff, some you may have seen, some you haven't seen. Chairs that they're getting rid of. 25 quid for a chair. So presumably, are they going to put stools in or something? I don't know what they're doing. Phil Walker framed photograph. Peter Bonetti autographed and framed action shot. Tony Towner framed photograph. The squad from, looks quite recent, probably 2017, something like that. This big massive sign here, stadium signage from the Den depicting the famous Millwall FC lion, which looks quite big. It looks like it. You can, let's click on it. That looks like the kiosks where they sell the food. So if the metal thing above it, so that looks, you can see how big that is. 40 quid for that. It was recently retired by the club as part of the interior refurbishment of the Barry Kitchen stand at the Den. 40 quid for that. 40 quid. So yeah, this is like I said, this is quite. It's interesting. It's kind of sad as well, like all of this stuff that they're getting rid of. Although at least they're letting the fans buy it. They got these artsy photos that you assume they had around the stadium, but if they're getting rid of these, what are they putting in its place? Famous photograph there of the lion crawling onto the pitch. Keith Weller playing basketball. Harlem Globetrotters. This here, look, Mill FC versus Aldershot FC, 1944 football match poster reopening. Now it seems to be like a reproduced thing. It's not from the time. It's the picture is from the time, and then it's got the day they happened, and the two teams that were involved. But yeah, that's 44 quid. Not surprising. Yeah, the Millwall Club mascot from 1929, the lion costume. Some more chairs. 40 quid for a chair. These montages, photo montages. Boardroom, sponsored by Addy.tv. A Millwall Club crest wall plaque. 75 quid for that at the moment. Again, another massive sign. You can see. So it's the sign that tells you where you need to go. So this looks like it's from outside, because it's telling you about the sign, like this way, that way. 32 quid at the moment for that. But that's massive. See how big that is? I wonder what that's made out of. Polycarbon, something like that. It doesn't even say that guy's name there. Framed photograph of historic Millwall FC legend from the Den. Do we have any idea whose name, who that is? Before my time, so I don't know. Does anyone know who that is? they don't even know who it is. They haven't even named him. It looks like it's from 60s, whether we were wearing the white shirts. What, 66? Famous photograph, Terry Hurlock, Sheringham. Obviously, these are prints of photographs that exist. So I guess, who owns do these photographs exist somewhere in terms of a library? Who owns them? Who owns the copyright? If you wanted to make your own print, where could you get this from? More squads, things that have been signed. That there. The lion, the older lion, the old lion image from the 80s. Still only £10 for that. How big is that? Is that A4? What is that? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you see all this stuff. It's like, man, this is like, bro, if you the Euro Millions is today, obviously. If I've won that, I mean, if you are a millionaire or a multi-millionaire, if you bought all of this is an instant museum. We're still on the first page. Like, I should probably speed it up and go through the pages, but I mean, because there's some real quality stuff in now. Whoever's bidding on this, you need to go through the whole lots. On the top right, vintage Millwall FC pennant from the game that opened the club stadium, Sporting Club de Portugal. Remember that? For some reason, they have several of these, but this one is here, and there's more further down. So don't just keep bidding on this one, because there's more further down. Go down to the end, and you'll see there's another 4. So don't keep bidding on that. 160, whoever's bidding on that. This one here, look, 1937 English Amateur Association team frame photograph of the Australian and New Zealand tour. Surround features players' name listing, sourced from the Den. So this was made sometime. Where's this? It looks like more modern. So even the photograph is old, but the reproduction, the print is, more modern-ish. So you got pennants. Look at this pennant here. 125th anniversary pennant, and there's just one of these. It's in red and gold for some reason. Silver plate. Is that actual silver? Is that actually actual silver? Silver plate, which was presented to Mill FC in 1986, engraved for Mill FC by Appreciation, LFBC and LYFA from 1986. Who's that? Who's London Fire Brigade? Is that it? I don't know who that is. LYFA? The London Youth Football Association? I have no idea who that is. Again, is this real silver? Because that might be worth a bit. It's 55 quid at the moment. So yeah, like I said, man, some of the stuff they're selling, look, commemorative plaque that was presented to Mill FC for staging. Can you remember? No, it's not that. It was the final of the Women's FA Cup in 1996. So the FA gave the club a plaque, and they're now selling it off. 22 quid. 22 quid. I guess, as John McCartney once sang, all things must pass. But, I mean, there's some real, historic stuff here. Trophy presented to Millwall FC by Shelbourne in 1994. 1988 London Evening Standard Footballers of the Month Award Trophy. London Ambulance Service NHS Trust commemorative plaque. ESFA English Schools FA commemorative plaque featuring the 3 lions. What was that for? Did we host one of their finals at the Den? Why did we get that? If you don't know the English schools, this before the Premier League teams all took over youth football, one of the highlights of being a young footballer was playing for your school. And not just, when I say school, I don't mean, your school that you're going to. No, it'd be like South London. Like, the schools all had different, like, regions and stuff. South London schools. Essex schools, whatever. I don't know how they went. But if you played for the school region, that was the highlight before, being snapped at the moment, being snapped up by like the Premier League. This as well. Like, if you've been to the den in the exec lounge and gone to the toilets, as you go through, they have these big posters on the wall. Like, they're gigantic, like probably 6 foot, maybe more. They're selling them. Like, they're selling them £10. Like I said, this is literally like a museum piece. Look, it's got the whole history of the club in footnotes going back 1885, 1925. Like I said, like, man, if I was a multi-millionaire, I'd be calling the club up. So look, I'll give you this much for all of this stuff. This is a ready-made museum that you can just buy. All you need is a building to put it in. Hopefully one that's close to the ground, and you've got a museum like that. Instant museum. You see this? These are the things that are on the wall. These, like, graphic things that they got. You must see, if you've been in the exec, maybe you've been in the exec for for an under-21 game. They have these things on the wall as you walk through to go to the toilet. And they've taken them down. They're on the floor. And they're selling them, and it's £10. So, yeah, like I said, like, what are they going to put in its place? Interesting, I told you last week that the club had announced, that they had acquired a replica trophy of the 87-88 trophy that Les Briley famously lifted up when we won the league, the only time that we made it to the top division. They've acquired that. So is it they're going to get rid of all of this, like, historical stuff, and it's going to be more like streamlined down? Are they going to put the actual trophies out on display, but obviously locked up behind thick glass? Are they going to be doing that? Obviously loads of shirts, players' shirts and stuff. Doesn't say what size there are. I guess obviously you're not supposed to be wearing it. This is funny. Husky chocolate. A promotional display bin. You can see how tall it is. It's up against the wall. It's probably about 5 foot, 4 foot. More chairs being sold individually. It's got an embroidered Millwall logo, the lion logo, in the back of it. 1933-94 historical team photograph. So presumably this is from the time. This not a reproduction. This is actually maybe from the time. Maybe it's a reproduction, but I mean, again, £10, £10. They're selling a whole museum's worth of items. 1937 English Amateur Association. Like, why are they doing this? And obviously, what's going to be in its place? They're selling more squad photographs, like 27 to, obviously, we saw the modern ones. 1927, 1946, 1937, 1913. 1913. Early edition Mill FC squad photographs. So they don't even know what year this is from. So I think that is a reproduction, yeah. Obviously, the initial photograph is actually from the period, and they've just reproduced it. 1903, 1907, and it just goes on and on. Framed photographs of various former players. That's just the second page. We're now onto the third page. 489 items they're selling. Framed photographs. Bobby Robson. Reg Bird presented his trophy to Bobby Robson. Ted Smith introduced to King George. Which one? I don't know. Dave Harper. William Voisey. Barry Salvage. Billy McCullough. Eamon Dunphy. Like, what? This is... Like, where has all this stuff come from? And what are they putting in its place? Postmodern wine bar tap. Which, you know, the Harry's Bar, you know, they did a good job with it, but... I'm not sure. So, Friends of Millwall FC annual dinner, 1990 programme. So, a booklet programme from the dinner, from the, presumably the end of season dinner that they have. One from 1989. Matchday programme, that I've got one of these from the first Millwall game at the New Den. 75 quid. You can have mine for that. 75 quid. I'm sure you can get one. You probably should be able to get one for less than that. Yeah. You keep seeing, like, a lot of people on the forums and that, saying, like, I've got all these meal programs, like, what can I do with them? Not much, really, like, unless it's one of these special ones, or if it's really old. Like, most of them are just, they're not worth the paper they're printed on, really. At the moment, obviously, if people keep throwing them away, then he who laughs longest. Framed image of Millwall FC legend Mick McCarthy from the FAI 1992. More shirts, press lounge this way. If you have a press lounge in your house and you need a sign to show you where it is, there you go, 20 quid for that. What is that? Is that the darts? Where's that from? Oh, it's from Ian Porter. Why? Is he a Millwall fan? He's not a Millwall fan, is he? He's not a Millwall fan, is he? What does it say there? This shirt is... Okay, cool. Why? What? Did someone donate that for like an auction and they didn't auction it off? Or maybe they tried to and no one was interested. No one wanted it. I don't know. Very weird. But again, that's another thing. Like, some time ago, many years ago, they asked for people's stuff to set up a museum. Where's all that stuff gone? Is any of that being sold here? Because I'm sure that's not going to go. That's going to go down like a cold bucket of sick if they're selling stuff that people donated to go to a Millwall museum, and it isn't, and it's being sold off. Now, this isn't for charity, by the way. It's just for the club to make money, because otherwise they would just throw it in the bin. So I guess that's the good thing, in that, you know, Mill fans out there get a chance, you know, to save some of this stuff, to take it on, and to, you know, to get something and say, well, where did you get that? Well, I got it from the Den. It used to be in a den and they auctioned it all off and I bought it. The programme from the first ever Friends of Mill dinner in 87-88. Mill FC... Oh, this brings some stuff. This brings me back. This is from the 80s as well, isn't it? Mill FC Junior Lions newsletter directly from the Den. They used to send you this in the post. I got a little card. They give you a little card. I think I've still got mine somewhere. The little card. Junior Lions. There'll be like a little old school, like a paper card, but then they like laminated it. That's how they used to do membership cards back in the day. And they used to give you one of these. I think they sent it in the post to your house, and they used to send you stuff on your birthday. I may have even had this one. What year is this from? Does it say what year that's from? It just says number 1. Okay. But that's well, the kit there is 87, 88. I may have had this, or one straight soon after. This was when I first got involved and became a junior line, around about this time. So yeah, I mean, if you go to the Mill website, this thing here, Mill's host memorabilia auction, when does it finish? It finishes in 10th of July, is it? But like I said, we still haven't gone down. Mill FC Programme Magazine Special. So obviously, the FA did their own programme, but Mill did a programme themselves, which I think is better. I didn't have that one. They got 3 of them. They're on sale. Some more chairs. It's being sold individually. Some more shirts. One from the last season, for some reason. Cresswell shirt. More chairs. Now this is a kit. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Mill FC Supporters Club Player of the Season 3rd place. Trophy from 2013-14. Martin Wolford. So, what happened there? Did he leave it behind? Didn't want it? It's like 3rd place? Stick your 3rd place up your ass? He didn't want it? I guess 3rd place. James Henry. Mill FC Supporters Club Player of the Season 3rd place trophy from 2012-13. James Henry. Gone. Didn't want it, left it behind. The club have it. Now the club don't want it, and they're selling it. Trophies here. If you wanted to, Mill FC Golf Championship Trophy, secured directly from the Den. So presumably this is between the players when they play golf. The trophy does carry a dent. Hey, who did that then? Who did that? Yeah, so you can see, look, there's some... But look, no one's bid on this yet. Well, someone's bid 20 quid, 20 quid, 20 quid, 10 quid. A trophy from the Den. Vancouver Metro Soccer League All-Stars from when we went to Canada. They gave us that, and they were selling it. A football trophy from Mill FC Den. A football trophy, yeah, what is it though? Just a random trophy. There's no plaque on it. Nobody knows. Some more of this. Some more plaques. 1993 Eastbourne Lifeboat Crew plaque that was awarded to Mill FC. Why was that? Does anyone remember why that was? St John's Ambulance wall plaque. With thanks. Why? Oh, did Millwall donate some money to them then? The RNLI, Royal National Lifeboat Institution at Eastbourne. Presumably Millwall donated some money to them and they got that in return. And now they're selling it off. Woking Borough Council wall plaque. Sign there. Mill FC Legend canvas. Again, they don't tell us who it is. And vintage framed Mill FC Lion Glass art. £160 for that. Someone's bid. Paul Moody. Naked with the Coca-Cola Champions thing. This FA Cup 2004 run to the final Harwood poster. Several of them. Now this is look at this. As if our injuries aren't bad enough, they're selling this. How are they supposed to know? They had this, look, an interesting piece. Interesting. Secured directly from the medical room at the Den. We have one of them? So, are they getting rid of the medical room at the Den? They don't need this anymore? This skeletal and muscular diagram poster has been used at the club for many years to assist in nursing injured Millwall FC players back to business. Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Like, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing and you need a poster to remind you, maybe you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. I think there's a song about that. It's like the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone and all that, yeah. I think that's why that song exists. I don't think you need a poster. Like, you should already know this stuff like the back of your hand. Why would you need that on the wall? Explains a lot though, doesn't it? Explains a hell of a lot. Some glass bowls from the Den. Boardroom, again, another sign, boardroom. Millwall FC storage presentation box. Some decanters, whiskey decanters. A Cheshire United one, so presumably that was gifted to Millwall. We're still going, by the way. We're on the final page now. Yeah, so it ends on the 8th of July. So just under a month. What is this? Light fittings and other fixtures and fittings from the Den. What the fuck is that? That was some Christmas lights. It's a fake candle. Okay. £10. Nothing Millwall about it, but if you buy it, you can point to it and say, I bought that from Millwall. And here we go. I told you about this. Some more pennants. The Millwall FC official pennant from the second ever match at the New Den. Honved. Remember that? They're all, I told you, all of these are Honved. But look, Sporting Lisbon, the one before was 160 because people ain't bothered to read through the whole thing. There's more at the end. There's more of those. There were 3 more. There's only 3 more. That's 42. That's 28. That's 32. But the one at the front's 160. Now here's the thing. This is it. A Millwall FC club issue blazer suit jacket with club crest embroidered. I'm going to get this and then I'm going to rock up at the Den. Pretend that I work there. Millwall FC club issue suit trousers in size 32. This Millwall FC Platinum Sweet signage and cordon. So you get the metal with it, yeah? Or is it just the canvas sign? Oh, that one. And here we go, look. More chairs, but you get 4. They're selling 4 chairs. Here's the thing. How can they tell your chairs from everyone else's chairs? Aren't they all the same? 4 chairs, 4 chairs, 4 chairs, 4 chairs, 4 chairs. Now this pissed me off when I saw this. I wanted to buy one of these from, I think it's Curtis Sport who did it. I didn't get there in time. They said they run out. Millwall have got a fucking box of 50 and they're selling 50. Rather than sell them one by one, they're selling a box of 50 of these. 30 years at the Den souvenir program. Hello? So if I want one of them, I'm going to have to buy the whole 50 box. What the fuck are we doing here, man? Some more frame photographs. Another one of those signs. That's £80. Laminated copy of the Pride newspaper. Major headline. Here, look at this. 1991 Football Trust Community Award plaque awarded to Millwall FC. 10 quid. 10 quid. There you go. And it's kind of sad, isn't it? It's kind of sad. In a way. Obviously, wait to see what they do at the ground. But if they're not going to have all of this historic stuff around, then what are they going to have? What's going to be on the walls? What's and like, who is this for? Is this to help the players, to give them something? To unburden them from the past. I'm not. It's like I said. It's like your parents have died and you're going into the house to sort through all this stuff. It's kind of sad in a way. But interesting stuff. Check back on it later, before it closes, I would imagine, 8th of July. But what's going to happen to the stuff that, if it doesn't sell? Are they just going to throw it in the bin? This probably would have been a good thing to do. Obviously, I think they're doing work now, at the ground now, in the summer, while there's nobody there. So they want to get rid of it now, but this would have been a good thing to do, probably in November before Christmas. Lots of Christmas presents here. Very interesting stuff. Thoughtful stuff. Meaningful stuff. Yeah, but there you go. We're going to finish off by looking at the transfers. Because why not? Let's cheer ourselves up. This is from bbc.co.uk. It's the done deals for June 2025. And the window is now closed. The early window, the one that was open on the 1st of June, closed today. I believe at 7 p.m. And it reopens, as it says here, Monday the 16th of June. So we're off for, 6 days, and then we come back. The window will be open again. So, interesting stuff. Marcus Bettinelli, goalkeeper, who was at Chelsea. You may never heard of him because he hasn't played. He's actually a Londoner, despite the name. Descended from Italians. And he's gone to Man City to go up there and not play there. A lot of these top Premier League clubs, they have the money to spend on a goalkeeper that just does training and does nothing else. And helps them to get around their homegrown quota by signing a player that will never play for them in any of the competitions, but still counts towards their homegrown. In our league, is there any... I saw this, and for a brief second, I was kind of annoyed, and I was like, what the fuck? Dion Deneve. I thought that said Denor, because Blackburn said, we've signed a Belgium. Well, they said, we've made a signing, our first signing, a Belgian flag, and then I saw D and then the N. I was like, what the fuck? They've signed Denor? No, Dion Deneve. KFC Kortrijk from Belgium. So, interesting. They've gone like us to the lowlands. Anything else in our league? Bristol City, Cal Naismith, Luton, rumoured to be signing George Saville. They signed Cal Naismith from Bristol City, so they are signing older Championship players to get them out of the League One. And there you go. And bizarrely, Joby Bellingham has gone to Borussia Dortmund for £31 million, which is insane. Because he's not that good. I don't think he's that good. Not from what I've seen, but man, that's insane. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.